Hello and welcome to this short video on how to create a building passport once you've set up an account. If you need help with setting up an account, please watch our video called Creating an Account, which is on our YouTube and our website. So what we've got here is our building passport welcome page. This shows our recently created building passports and the ones we've viewed most recently. However, because we haven't made any yet, that bit's not visible. To create one, we are going to press Create New Building Passport here or here. The first thing we need is our building name or number, so for this I'll just do one example street. A UPRN is allocated by a local authority and is a unique property reference number, which is a bit more specific to an individual building than a postcode is. So it's really useful for identifying the location of a building in the case of an emergency. They're usually up to 12 digits in length, and if you don't know what it is for your building, just press the Here link and it will take you through to Find My Address. Put your address in, and when it shows up in the drop-down menu, click on it and the UPRN is in yellow at the top of the blue bubble. Then just enter your postcode, address and city and press Next. Then you need to select your building type. For homeowners looking to register a building passport just for one single house, you select the residential dwelling sole unit option here. Residential dwelling multiple units is essentially flats or buildings with more than one residential dwelling in them. Office single occupation is when a company occupies the whole building, and office multi-occupied is when a company occupies a part of a building, for example one floor. Retail sole occupation is when one store or restaurant occupies the whole building, and retail multi-occupied is a building that contains multiple stores or restaurants, such as a shopping centre. You are then given space to describe the building. This is just a brief summary of the important details, and the example given is really useful, so I'm just going to put the same. You then have to select your role, either agent or owner. Agent is someone who is acting on behalf of the owner of the building. For example, if I was an architect or surveyor setting up a building passport on behalf of an owner, I would be an agent, but if I was the owner, I would just put myself as owner. There is an information tab below explaining this in more depth. If you are an agent, ideally you add the email address of the building owner here, but if you don't know it at this stage, that's fine, you can press Skip Relationship. You can always add that when the building passport is live. You are then taken through to the floors page. This gives you the option to select how many floors above ground floor your building has. For a 2-storey house, this would be 1 floor above ground floor, and for a bungalow, just select 0. If you have floors below the ground or subterranean stories, please tick the appropriate boxes here. With lofts, if it is inhabited or has a staircase leading up to it, it counts as a floor, but if it is accessed via ladder and is uninhabited, then it does not count as a floor. You then need to input whether the building is unoccupied or occupied. If it is occupied, please select how many people are occupying the building on a regular basis, such as for a residential home, the people living there, or for an office, the people working there. If you select occupied, you will be asked for a rough estimate of the number of occupants with disabilities and the number of elderly occupants. This is useful information in the event of an emergency like a fire. The next page is to find out about features of the property that could pose a risk to the safety of the building and residents. If any of these issues apply to you, select Yes, otherwise you can select No. You're also free to skip to the next section. You can then choose to turn on reminders to check the details of your building passport every 6 or 12 months, which will be in the form of an email. This is very useful as it is your responsibility to ensure that the information you have provided is correct and up to date. Then press Save as Draft and you will see it appear in your draft section. Thank you for watching. I hope this has been helpful.